Who is with Vinny Fiorenza? There's a lot he doesn't know. There's a lot he wants to know. This is a podcast where he tries to learn from people who know things he doesn't. He'll be focusing on people from the worlds of business, entertainment, and the arts. His guests are people he finds fascinating and that he believes will bring value to others. Join him on the journey on finding out who is.
Told you I'm incognito right now tonight. It feels good. Sam Harmonix was birthed from me making the artists do like tons of harmonies. I'm like, y'all do this. I'm producing Snoop Dogg. I'm producing Jamie. I'm producing Dave Franco. And Megan Good is on the record all at one time, and I'm featured on it as an artist. I feel like the best producers are drummers. Really, production is about the drums. It's about the sound. That same energy that you have to give on stage is the same energy that you have to have when you walk into a room.
We're here with Sam Pounds, a.k.a. Sam Harmonix. He's here in his sunglasses, a little, what'd you call that before?
Yeah, man, I told you I'm incognito right now tonight. It feels good.
It's good. I start off every show. But pretty similarly. Tell the audience where you're from. Let's get that.
You know, I'm originally from Durham, North Carolina, outside the county line. Little country boy swag. And then I moved out here after flying back and forth. I moved out here to LA. And so I'm here now though. So
we're glad to have you out here. What was it like growing up over there?
A lot of sports. A lot of church, a lot of music, a lot of whoopings.
A lot of whoopings,
yeah. Whoopings.
How has that affected you?
I think I turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But just running around like either I was hooping on the swim team, shooting guard. Well, actually, I was tall. I was considered tall in middle school. I was like the same height in middle school.
Me too.
So they had me playing center. And I was like, I'm finna be like 6'9". Didn't grow at all in high school. And saw people shot up above me, and I became a two guard.
Gotcha.
So, I still got post moves, though, so don't try me.
You think growing up, was there any influence from your family, like to join the arts, music, whatever what you consider yourself in?
I mean, that was since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up, in Durham, North Carolina. You got like the quartet. You know what I'm saying? Like the quartet scene there is like country, gospel music. You got people that look like and sound like James Brown.
Yeah.
Just, with Jerry curls and red suits and smoking cigarettes and cussing you out after church. So you had just that whole, it was a whole industry. Malico Records is in Durham, North Carolina. It's like a legendary gospel record label.
Yeah.
So I grew up pretty much thrown into the industry for real. Then my grandmother, when I was 3, she was like, sing now. I said, I didn't want to sing. I started playing drums when I was 3.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Do you play any instruments?
I play a little bit of everything. Drums, keys, whatever was at the church. So at the church, it was like drum, keys, organ, a little bit of bass.
Obviously, as someone who could play all those instruments, how early on did you know that you could produce? Say, because that's what your main part of your career is.
Yeah. Like producing came about, I guess, just growing up around music all your life and all types of music. Understanding I feel like the best producers are drummers.
Okay.
And because really production is about the drums, it's about the sound. Yeah. And so let me see, when I was like 16, 17, my cousin Q Dot, love you Q Dot, Q Dot Dizzy,
shout out.
Yo Q. He was producing DMX and Murder Mook and Ashanti.
So you've been in it forever.
Yeah. And I did like around the same time I was working with Q Dot when I was in middle school. We went up and I did the Apollo, Showtime at the Apollo.
No way.
When I was like 15, 16.
Shot up to New York.
Shout out to New York.
Wow.
Shout out to New York, and I got family up there too, so
Beautiful.
I was going back and forth. You know, like I mean, as far as just being around everything, I was always around it. Like when I think about it now, I was always around it.
When was your first performance? Like, what would you consider your first performance?
I consider like first grade, my first real performance in elementary school, singing The Lion King, Circle of Life.
Circle of Life.
Yeah. Circle of Life with the whole choir behind me and all this stuff, everybody crying. I still got it on VHS.
Perfect. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, VHS.
Be calm, rewind.
But yeah, that was crazy. And then my music teacher, Miss Brewer, shout out to her. You know, she really got me into classical and, you know, Mary Poppins, these are a few. You know what I'm saying? She had me diverse culturally. Right. So then I would leave her classical training every day, and then I would then go to church, and you know,
all cylinders.
You got all these different types of influences, and you know, I just became a melting pot of that.
Yeah, you definitely are. How'd you learn the production side? Like, did you go to school for it or anything like that?
I mean, life was the school, but then I say Q Dot again. I was around him, and you know, he had the MPC and a
What's
16
that?
recorder. MPC is like it's like beat in a box basically. So
Okay.
you have your sounds loaded into this machine. It's like a block, and you have these pads.
Yeah.
And each sound is triggered.
Cool.
And so I grew up watching him do that, and I took up that. And then later on, when I went to college, I really got into Pro Tools and, you know, mixing and mastering, and I ended up majoring in audio technology.
Nice.
Mass comm, it was a mass comm overall degree, but with a concentration in audio technology.
So you're a big nerd.
I am.
That's good.
Yeah,
man.
and so to
We
this
need
day, I
that.
mix and master everything that I do too,
love
as well
that.
as sing and produce.
So and you do it for a lot of other people.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, who was the first artist that you've ever like considered yourself producing for?
First artist I could
Yeah, right.
producing for.
Or like
Ooh.
when was it? What was it like? You know, what was that experience like where you knew you could do it?
So Jamario Artis is a really good friend of mine. He plays bass for Bruno Mars.
Wow.
So he's part of Bruno Mars and the Hooligans. And he would come back after tour because I was still in college. He would come back and he was like, "Yo, I want to do an album. I want to do a bass album." And I took that challenge on, and he was going based off of what Bruno was doing, and so I had to match what the quality that Bruno was getting.
That's one way to step your game up.
Yeah, so I was like, I wanted to sound like this, and I was like, oh, and I'm looking at him, okay. So I ended up using my college studio to start that project, and after that project, we released it. Bruno tweeted it. You know, I'm singing, producing, mixing, and mastering all over it. You know, that built like a new portion of my bass, and I was like, okay, I know I'm a producer.
What was your name back then? Like, what'd you go by?
It was Sam Harmonix.
Oh, it was Sam.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay, good, man.
That was Sam Harmonix. Even though I go by, you know, Sam Harmonix will always be my production name, but you know, my artist name is my biological name basically, which is Sam Pounds.
Nice one.
But yeah, I mean, Sam Harmonix was birthed from me making the artists do like tons of harmonies and backgrounds. So I'm like, y'all do this, and then then just give them parts, and all of a sudden it's this big blanket of harmonies, and so that's where Sam Harmonix came from.
Sam Harmonix.
Sam aligning minds harmonically. So that's what.
Wow, that's
that
a
was
line.
the whole concept, and you know, shout out to Nitro. Nitro is another producer. He works with DJ Battlecat and Snoop and all those guys.
Yeah.
And he was my roommate.
Get outta here.
Yeah,
Great.
he was my roommate, and so we created a sound right within our dorm rooms, and then we'll take it into the studio, and while I was playing basketball in college as well.
Sounds like you guys like created a hotbed for like people figuring it out.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
That's great. I love that. It gets me amped up even just be chatting about it with you. Tell me a little bit about your professional career before LA.
Before LA, I mean, I did a short stint under Jim Beans and Timberland. I did some background for Justin Bieber. I did a lot of stuff.
As a singer?
Yeah. So I was, our generation, you got Timberland, you got Pharrell, you got those guys that's a little bit older than us, they're still here.
Yep.
And so I feel like my generation, we just had to get in where we fit in. So if somebody needed me to come sing background, I'd come sing background. If somebody needed me to come sing lead and do a show, I'd do that. If somebody wanted me to come produce or just lay down drums, I would do that.
The best ability is availability.
100%.
Live by that for sure.
Just get in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to be in the room, and I knew how to be resourceful once I was in that room. Reading a room and seeing what it needs.
100%,
so I was
man.
like, whatever the
You're
room
definitely
needs.
good for that, man. I've seen you in action. Of course, bro. When did you come out to LA, and why LA?
So in 2013, I did a showcase, a Grammy showcase at the W.
This W?
Yeah, the W here,
cool. Yeah.
And then
it's a pop and spot, like especially for music.
Yeah, especially like around that time.
Yeah.
And then
people work there.
Then for the Stars Fashion House, where they gave me this 14 karat gold jacket to wear, and
that's right.
CeeLo Green has a version of the jacket. Katy Perry has some clothes from them.
Cool.
Like it was at that time, they were like the it when it comes to performance art wear. And so I did a Grammy showcase there and at the W, and that's what sparked, me wanting to move to LA. Because at first I was doing so much stuff outside of LA, I thought I was going to be fine. I thought I would just go to New York.
Yeah.
But LA started calling my name in around 2013.
Nice, man. When'd you pull the trigger?
Finally pulled the trigger in 2019.
Nice, man.
I was flying back and forth since 2013 and 2019. Establishing myself.
What'd you do when you first got here? What was it like? Did you have stuff lined up, or were
you
figuring out? Tell us.
So when I did the showcases, that was the best way, for me. I just ran into so many people because everybody's here during Grammy week, and so if you're doing a show and everything, everybody's trying to get at you after you perform. So I met Gigi Hervell. We became real close. I met Lauren Oden, who introduced me to Adrian Young, who's, one of the biggest producers.
I love these shows when we just keep name dropping.
That's how LA is. You just start running into people. And then one of my best friends, Fiction, I met him. He was in a boy band at the time, but now he's a solo artist and a writer. And me and him just really clicked, and we started doing sessions. And so I started coming out here producing people after I performed, and that became the pattern. So people would see me perform live, but then I get them into the studio.
And guessed that.
It's a whole nother thing.
Being with that pattern, that cycle, I'm sure somehow that led to you bouncing in with Sumerian.
Yeah.
Tell us about the origin of that relationship.
Well, it all started when I was working on a movie soundtrack, The Day Shift, with Jamie Foxx when I was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
We was working on that, and I needed help with contract stuff. And Johnny Foster, who is, we have the label with Sumerian, and now we're Virgin and Universal and all that stuff.
Yeah, Bill.
But Johnny, just made sure all of my books, everything was in line and in place to be able to, make the proper transactions and look over the paperwork, so that everything that happened later on with Day Shift was smooth. And I'm thankful for him to this day. And so establishing that relationship, Johnny has a good friend named Ash Edvison. Ash is the owner and the head of Sumerian Records and TV and film.
TV and film.
Yeah. And so one time we did when I got back from
Atlanta.
We went to Nashville and did a writing camp. and Ash was there, and he heard me singing, so I would produce, and then I was like, okay, who you want to reference? I was like, Sam, you reference it. I started referencing all the vocals. So when I was in Nashville doing the writing camp that Johnny had me run to, because at the time I was also music directing Willie Jones at Whiskey Jam. So I was
names don't stop.
That's literally I was like, yo, whatever I need to do in order to show people, if I'm producing somebody, I use that as marketing, right? Because that's another audience, that probably would never hear about you. Now you're producing one of the people that, they adore, and then they follow you too, and then, organically just things start building over time. And so I was there, music directing Willie Jones, and then doing the writing sessions. Ash heard me. Then this whole conversation, well, what does Sam's artist project sound like? Yeah. And just all of this stuff. And
turned into something more.
Turned into a whole different thing.
I love that. So what is I know you go there, I hear about you going there. Well, what's the Penthouse?
Penthouse.
Give us the scoop. Give us the lay people the scoop.
The Penthouse is the squad. The Penthouse is the team. Johnny Foster, Jamie Foster.
All same team. Nice.
All same team. You got Willie Jones. He's an artist with the Penthouse. You have myself. You have Rashad, who's super rising country artist that's coming out, and you have Pretty Sister, aka Zach Waters. He's like R&B, alternative R&B artist, and we are the Penthouse. Man.
Nice, man. I love that.
Yeah, and we have a studio location on Beverly Boulevard, right near the Beverly Center. Cool. And that's where I do a lot of sessions, and big action over there. Yeah, big action over there. So
nice. You also work with someone pretty popular. You've been working with Jamie Foxx a little bit. Yeah. Tell us about how you guys bumped into each other.
We was at Delilah.
That's great, man. I came there with you. That's great.
We was at Delilah. It was my night. I was doing, I had to do like 11 songs, and I ended the night with Purple Rain. Usually towards the end of the set, bigger celebrities come in. Jamie came in around that time, and then I met my boy Jay Young as well. Nice. Jay Young was with him, and I sung Purple Rain. Saw Jamie. I said something about I make beats. He was like, what? Dave Brown came and got my number. We was in the studio the next day.
Bro,
it literally happened just like that.
Yeah, that's how it was. If you wanted to be, bro.
If you want it, and what I had to do though was I was in talks with Red Bull at the time, the publisher company, and they had a studio, nice studio. Yeah. And I needed an engineer that I love, because I just wanted the experience. I wanted to provide a dope experience for them. And we did that, and then it took off from there. Ended up singing at Jamie's birthday party, doing original music. Jamie performing some of the original music at his party, and then it grew from there. Because shortly, not too, let me see, the pandemic was coming.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was right before.
Yeah, this is right before, and so all those connections were made and solidified right before the pandemic.
It's probably good timing.
Then when the pandemic happened, we locked in.
Wow.
We did about 70, 80 records, man.
So you guys became close. What's the relationship like?
Oh, that's my brother.
Nice. I love that,
That's my brother.
man.
That's my family.
That's great news.
We love you, Jamie. He's doing great.
Nice.
Perfect. And we glad.
Happy to hear that.
We excited to just be surrounded by greatness like that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because if you're a sponge and you have the opportunity to be around somebody that's multi-talented, that loves music, that loves TV and film, then he was in a position to get me involved in everything immediately. You got to appreciate it, and you got to be a sponge, and
you got to know how to use the resources and give and absorb. Yeah,
exactly. So, and so back to whatever room you in, make sure you can be useful in that room.
Of course.
And so all those years of like producing, having to produce myself, having to mix and master, having to do everything, I ended up producing, mixing, mastering, writing, and performing on the Day Shift theme song with Snoop. So it was like, shoot, like I'm producing Snoop Dogg, I'm producing Jamie, I'm producing Dave Franco, and Megan Good is on the record all at one time, and I'm featured on it as an artist as well. I was like, and then the red carpet hit, and then a few months after that was in August, then October, that's when I signed with Tamarian.
Wow, congrats,
so
man.
It was like boom, awesome. boom. And who knew that I was going to need all the skills that I've been working at and developing for such a long time. And then when we shot the music video, you know, me taking karate class back in the day when I was at home, I had to do the fight scene and learn a fight scene with J.J. Perry in 15 minutes right before we had to shoot it and record it. And so, you know, you're talking about everything coming together, the performance, the outfits,
the choreography,
the choreography, all the stuff,
top to bottom.
It just came together, man, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm still riding that wave.
Good, you released an album this year.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
So the album is called "Don't Forget Where You Came From." I released it in Juneteenth because I wanted, before they really get a lot of this rock music and this Prince, you know, Lenny Kravitz type music that's coming out next. I wanted people to realize, like, hey, I'm a country boy. I grew up in Durham, North Carolina, outside the county line, and I wanted everybody to know that, you know, I have many influences, and because I'm doing this type of music, I still haven't forgot where I came from. So I wanted to do a tribute album to my hometown before all this other stuff comes out. And I feel like it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
I'm not even from there, and like when I listen to the actual songs, I'm like, you know, I feel the same way. Like,
right.
Even though they're totally different backgrounds, but you know, it's cool. The vibe checks out.
Yeah, I mean, and that album came together organically between, you know, Johnny sending me concepts and then the other producers. Because even though I produce, I'm not afraid to work with other producers. You know, if it sound good, if it feel good, you know, I still ended up mixing and mastering and adding some production and vocal production at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, but it was great to collaborate on that album and bring it home. It was Juneteenth. It was a perfect time to do it. I followed that up with singing at CMA Fest and Bonnaroo Festival and doing a mini tour in Nashville, and then capped it off at doing a big Juneteenth show at the Soho House in Nashville.
I remember you telling me.
And so that was
a crazy week.
That was insane. It was so insane, and you know, just doing a mini tour like that, you know, in the midst of CMA Fest too, was just iconic because, you know, I'm singing a song 7 times in about 5-6 days, and like full blown out shows. It was an experience, and I really appreciated the shows that I do out here then, because they prepared me to have the stamina to do those shows back to back to back to back.
Tell us a little bit about some of the shows that you've been doing like regularly out here, because I know you're busy.
Yeah, shout out to Barlice, or however you say it, the Thompson Hotel, and Jazz Eclectic, Gills, Ryan Cross, those guys. I just did a James Brown tribute this past Tuesday. It was insane. I posted it on my Instagram, and all of the horn players, you know, a lot of them that I knew, they came out, because you can't really do James Brown without horns.
No, of course.
And so the horn section was insane, and it was a moment, man. It was one of the, you know, the highest energy times I've ever had at Barlice.
One of my funniest stories with you at Barlice was you just stole the drums from someone and took over, and it was sick. I was like, I've never seen you perform on the drums before. And I was like, this kid was killing it for like 3 or 4 songs.
Yo, like
it was wild.
Drums is still my first love.
Yeah.
Drums is still my first love, man. And you know, sometimes when I'm done singing, I don't feel like singing no more. I was like, let's just have fun and let's jam. I love jamming. I love 100%. You know, doing band stuff. And so let me get on there. He was nice enough to let me get on there. And, you know, after that, you know, I still had my like leather jacket on and everything. I was drenched in sweat by the time we were done. I love it though.
It's good, man.
It's a workout.
Gets the people going.
I'm still sore from Barley's Tuesday.
Walked in here with a limp.
Yeah, man. I was like, sheesh. Like I was wearing these shoes that had a heel on them like this, and I was doing spin moves. I was doing all the James Brown dances.
Some good stuff on your feet.
Yeah, so I was like, today, I'm gonna have a little, little Dior's on with the little petty. Manny Petty. Sam Petty, we love it. It's fun. You have some pretty interesting, good style and swag. Like, did you always have that? Yeah, talk to us. It developed. I always had a version of it, but I love how it's developed. Where you become, you come into your own when it comes to style. Yeah. And one thing I always do is I always keep the shirts unbuttoned. Because my father, God rest his soul, he passed away when I was 3.
Sorry.
But, I dressed similar to him. He had the silk shirts, or he had the shirt buttoned down. He had the chains on. He had a big fro.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? He looked like an artist. So, but he used to dress NFL players and other celebrities in Boston, Massachusetts. And so he was a celebrity stylist. And so, he was... I mean, when I look at him, I was like, that's how I want to look. And so now I kind of modernized it, and it became my own. But I'm also named after him. His name is Sam Pounds.
Wow.
I'm Sam Pounds.
And so the way I dress, the second?
Yeah, I'm the second. I'm a junior, and so that's the way I dress is literally a tribute to my father.
Nice, man. Yeah. I mean, this never goes out of style. Just being cool, Yeah,
and, we got the exclusive on today. We can't tell you, but we do have the exclusive on today.
Something I find interesting about you that I've learned through, bouncing from place to place with you is that you know how to work a room better than almost anyone I've ever met. Like, we walked into a club one time, and it was like we were in the scene in Goodfellas. I was shaking everybody's hand, going in through a different door. Like, I was like, tell us about the development of that.
So I sung at this mega church. It's a church everywhere, but then I was mentored by Bishop Summerfield, who was also under the leadership of Bishop T.D. Jakes. Okay. And Bishop Summerfield was like the flyest dude. I'm talking about, these are like mega, preachers. So they like almost like mafia guys in a way. Where, he getting the manicure with the gold rings, he helicopter from service to service, the craziest cars. But then the way he comes in and works a room, you can see why people book him to make appearances because of the way, the energy. You know what I'm saying? So when he gets there, they may be depressed, but by the time he just finished shaking their hand and making eye contact and in 2 seconds saying something to them, they inspired. That's why he kept getting called back. And that's why the demand was so crazy. So seeing that type of style, seeing that type of energy, seeing that type of brand, I was watching.
So you have the power to do that through both your music and you as a personality. Right. So with that being said, you being able to do that, do you have any advice for other up and coming artists, what they can do to kind of get a little bit like that, or at least like make newer connections?
You got to kind of be past, say when you're singing and when you're trying to connect, you got to be past the point of, I'm singing to sound good, I hope they like me. You got to be past that point. Yeah. You got to know you sound good. You got to know what to do. And then you got to focus on, okay, what does this room need to feel good? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, as an artist, you got to give what the room needs. So you got to be past, can I sing? You got to already come in proven. Like, in the NBA, they're not saying, hey,
can I shoot?
Oh, can I shoot? No, they know they can shoot the ball. They know they can dribble. They know they can dunk. Yeah. So now when they're on that platform, they're there to entertain and, give the people a show and what they need. That's what every artist or singer, even when you're walking into a room, it's still artistry. That same energy that you have to give on stage is the same energy that you have to have when you walk into a room. They have to feel that. And that takes whatever stage you can get on it. Sometimes you're not going to get paid a whole lot,
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need those reps. Get those
100%.
reps in. So then it's beyond you. You're used to the band. You're used to the energy. You're used to the adrenaline that's going to happen
And
when
you could
get
take
on
on a
stage.
week like you just mentioned in Nashville with
Right.
these.
Yeah, and then you got to be ready. It has to be like clockwork.
Yeah.
Especially artistry in today's
Yeah.
music industry. You have to be a beast.
Yeah.
And you have to be durable, or you won't survive because it's saturated, with people. But the strongest survive. The people that are skilled, the people still paying attention to their craft, practicing, making sure they legit, finding a stage, because then the money comes.
Yep.
Those are the things I say to any artist: find a stage, and make sure you're beyond. Can I sing?
That's a good speech.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, kids. Yeah, take these notes. So I'm gonna change the pace a little bit and start with a little rapid fire. A little thing over
snap.
here. Yeah, you ready to rock?
Oh snap!
Being from the South, do you have a favorite Southern meal?
My mom's breakfast.
Nice. Well, what's in that breakfast?
She had country ham, like the homemade biscuits and grits. Ooh.
It sounds like I'm about to have breakfast for dinner.
Come on, baby. Like, she had the different type of French toast.
Nice.
And, it's my mom's breakfast. And my mom's cheesecake, my mom's banana pudding, and my grandmother's sweet potato pie, and my...
All right. Well,
Yo,
let's go
tell
live.
you what, I'm about to go home now right after this, man. What?
First flight.
That Southern cooking, man. Are you kidding me?
Do you
What?
do you have a dream partnership with a specific brand that you want to partner with?
YSL.
Nice. All right. Cool.
I love me some YSL.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
YSL Dior, but YSL.
Gotcha. So this is a tough one, but favorite place you've performed?
I can't name one. That's still to be named, but
All right.
But another place, the Analog in Nashville.
Okay.
The Analog in
Is that
Nashville.
the recent trip or is
Yeah,
it
it was
past
a recent
trip?
trip.
Nice.
That was insane. But the O2 Arena was good too in London. Those are all this year.
That's crazy, man.
Isn't that crazy?
It's to 2023. Sam
Insane.
Pound.
But that Analog show,
Yeah.
I think that
was
sparked something.
Nice.
It
Yeah.
sparked something.
We're gonna keep it coming. The cycle's gonna
Yeah,
continue.
man,
It's
it's
just
gonna-
gonna keep going up, though. Who is someone from history you would love to perform for?
I gotta say Prince.
Oh, cool.
I almost had the
I love
opportunity
that.
before he passed, but
Yeah.
I would say Prince, because me and Prince, I know if he was living right now, because I'm partners with so many people that have been close to him.
That makes sense.
Me and him would have been like this, and would have been on some records together.
Yeah.
One of them that's still living though is Lenny Kravitz.
Cool.
Lenny.
Yeah. I'm sure you're getting there,
Yeah,
man.
Lenny. Come on.
Yeah, you're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
All right. Top 3 musical influences.
Prince, Lenny, James Brown.
Bang. I love that. So we're gonna close out here. Could you tell the audience what's next and how could people connect with you if you'd like to be connected with?
I am Sam Pounds all over the place. Just Google Sam Pounds. You'll find me. Follow me. Hit me up. What's coming up next? We have some more performances. Come see me every Friday at Black Rabbit Rose. And we got some new music coming out in early September.
Nice.
Gonna send some shockwaves. And, just follow me on social media and you'll see what I'm up to. Vinny in the building.
Yeah, might catch me. But I appreciate you, man. This is great.
Let's go.
Yeah,
You
thanks
have
for
some
coming out.
deceivingly long arms. I just realized that.
You think so?
Yeah, that was kind of long. I didn't know it was gonna
You
make
should see
it.
my.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna. I was like, oh, okay, we made it. Oh shit.